Good morning. 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 Welcome. Welcome. Welcome into this space. Come on in. Good morning. Good morning, Natasha. Good morning, Daniel. Glad to have you back live. I hope you look like your travels were well. Good morning, Angie. Good morning, Winter. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to our YouTube family. Good morning, Ronnie and Michelle, Confidence and Bakari. Good morning, good morning. Transparency rules the day for me. My entire house is dealing with allergies and super sinuses. I probably sound very nasal. I have not been to sleep really well. Classes begin tomorrow. My syllabi are not complete. This is me every year, though, right? And just other things that certainly other things that are happening in this country and in this world, and then other things that are happening in community that have me. I don't know if off center is what I want to say, but certainly feeling away. Ashe, just certainly feeling away. And so I'm moving through all of that in this moment. And so if you are experiencing my energy in a particular way, then you would be right. I invite your thoughts. I invite your prayers, and all that you have that is good to offer towards me. Ashe. You better be traveling at a joke. I am here for it. Now that enliven my spirit. Ashe. 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 Thank you. I probably would have paused again this weekend, lest I did it last weekend because we were out of town and traveling. And shout out to the Pan African Festival. I got to see some of our comrades there. I got to be with the community, with the Soul Trust. It did our hearts good, and just talking and remembering about that is lifting my spirits high. And also in the midst of, this is college application season. So our family is deep in the trenches of discernment, or as I like to say, discernment, discerning alongside of our eldest. And this is coming up on me too. So maybe I've just been going and going, and next week or the week after, in 2 weeks, our oldest will be 18. And so, yeah, I got a couple different feels going on. Ashe. Couple different feels going on. And, also in those feels, though, of balancing terror and triumph. I think Anthony Penn wrote the book, is it The Nature of Black Religion, Terror and Triumph? Terror at what is happening in this world and this country, at the hands of an administration that some of us begged folk not to vote in. Terror at what I read yesterday in an Atlantic article, in an article in the Atlantic, about what the Secretary of State, I don't even want to call his name, his views, his very stark conservative views, and wanting to vote to repeal the vote for women, and a real live Handmaid's Tale. So there is a lot. And then at the same time, the triumph, not wanting to hand over the triumph, my own personal, our collective triumphs, our joys, like the triumph of making it with, Derek and I, first of all, making it to raise a child who is going to be 18. In 2 months, our 20th wedding anniversary, the triumph. My book is in production, the triumph. These are things that I dreamed of, things that I prayed for the success of, and I'm not willing to hand them over. And nobody's asking me to, but I think sometimes the dis-ease of what we are experiencing, the disaster of what is, the horror, the terror, the fear-mongering for real fear, kind of just overwhelms, and we forget, or we don't forget, or we feel like we can't celebrate because we won't be looked at as serious enough, or as liberative, or as down for the cause, or as for whatever. But I refuse. As I inhale, I said, I meant to upload that, Ronnie, that video clip. And I probably can't do it now because I'm live, and I don't want it to disconnect. But I said last week at the Pan-African Festival, when my comrade Maoli gave One Love an opportunity to stand and offer a statement of solidarity as another movement, that, the goal and the desire is to steal our joy, is to take it. And this is what whomever, I don't know if this is a hymn, I don't know if this is an official hymn, or it's just a praise and worship song. I grew up hearing that phrase, this joy that I had, or it could be a psalm for all I know. This joy that I had, the world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. If we thought about that as a song of resistance, what that really means. And so I've just been really sitting with that. You didn't give it to me. You can't have it. I will not relinquish it. I will not relinquish it. In the darkest of days, I will not relinquish it. Ashe, y'all. So before we meditate, I want to remind you, because this is just sort of the vibe I'm on. It's just very conversational. You hear it. I am light and heavy at the same time. I'm on the precipice. That's what I'll say. But what gives me joy in this moment also is knowing that in just a little while, we will have an opportunity to gather at yet another activation, which is at the 31st commemoration of the Ma'afa, September 21st to the 28th, 2025, in East New York, Brooklyn, with the St. Paul Community Baptist Church. Those of you all who know that is, that's another church home for me. It is an activation site of sacred memory. And you, as you tap in, as you continue to be in community with us, you will hear us call varying sites of activation where you can find a couple things. One, you can find the work of sacred memory happening, being done by those who are a part of the House of Teray. And so this is one. Certainly, the Ma'afa has been happening for 31 years under the leadership of the previous pastor, and certainly now Reverend David Keith Brawley, who has continued this journey. And for the last 3 years or so, this Mbongi, which means the learning place, or the Ma'afa Institute, has happened. And so it is exciting to see and to know all that will be taking place. For those of you, you can register. I'm sure that one of the DigiDeacons will put the registration link in the chat on both YouTube and Facebook. But you know what? Let me try to start in order. Let me go with Monday. Let's start with Monday. I'm sorry. I got Thursday up. Give it a second. I'm going to Monday. On Monday, there's a little lag, so just give it a, there you go. On Monday, so if you're there on Sunday, though, you should really come on Sunday, because I plan on posting their pictures next week. But our very own, because I claim her as a part of the PRC Village, Pastor Anika Wilson Brown, pastor of the Union Temple Baptist Church in Washington, D.C., will be the opening preacher on Sunday morning, the 8 a.m. service. So I will not be streaming live from PRC, but I'm inviting you to stream live with St. Paul's on Sunday, September 21st. On Monday, September 22nd, the Village, Reclaiming the Village, kicks off. There is a healing hut every day beginning at 8:30 in the morning. And the guides that will be leading us on Monday are Reverend Stephen Lewis, Mama Dr. Itihari Torre, Dr. Daniel Omatosho Black, Dr. Mark Armstrong, Baba Michael Wright, Elder Wiley, I can't see on my screen, is a little Lily. Elder Wiley, Dr. Natasha Thornton, and Baba Orland Bishop. There is also a teaching Mbongi. If you are an educator, parallel to the Ma'afa, there is an educator track for all of the teachers. It is free to attend the daytime Mbongi. The tickets for the actual production are $50, and you only, of course, you only need to see the production once, but to actually attend the Mbongi itself is free. There is no registration cost associated with it. Of course, you need to get there, and if you're already in the area, just, show up. So that is on Monday. Let me see if I can find Tuesday. I'm trying to go in order. I don't have Tuesday on here. It's okay. So I'm going to just go to whatever next day. I'll say Tuesday. I'll bring Tuesday next week. So let me just go. I'll bring Tuesday and Wednesday next week. Help me, y'all. Jesus. Let me go to Wednesday. Just know that Tuesday, on Tuesday, I will be sharing along with Jamie Wooten, who is the founder, my brother, of Collectively. We'll be sharing it on Wednesday morning. We will be joined by Reverend Dr. Willie Godman, who will be leading our Healing Hut, Mama Itihari, Reverend Joshua Campbell, Baba Mike Wright again, my comrade, Attorney Molly Davis, and who y'all see in the middle? My man. Yeah, that made me perk up and smile. Baba, the elderly producer himself, Derek Young, he and Molly will be in the conversation guides on a conversation around self-determination, Reverend Dr. Kylan Pugh, Reverend Dr. Hodari Williams, and my soul sister niece, healer Ashley Nobukosi Thomas will be there on Wednesday. There is a special happening Wednesday evening. I don't know if the details have all been worked out, but there is some special other musical guests that are there. As soon as I get the word, to be able to share, I will share I'll share that information with you all. Let's go to Thursday. My brother, Reverend Matthew Wesley Williams, along with the pastor David Keith Brawley, along with Elder Anthony Bennett, Mama Gloria, along with attorney Donna Bennett, who is most capable, Elder Sheila Bennett, and myself. Oh, so I'm on Thursday. Listen, I'm on Tuesday, Thursday, and I'm teaching a course every day. So there's a lot. And then finally, let's see where Friday is. I think this is Friday. Just for you all to know. Wednesday, the preacher is Bill Lamar. Reverend Dr. Bill Lamar is the preacher for Wednesday. And then on Friday, none other than of course, again, Dr. Mama E.T. Torre and Reverend Ronald Galvin, along with his most capable partner, Dr. Yannick Redwood, Dr. Brawley again, Reverend Dr. Madam President Maisha Handy. Reverend Dr. Maisha Handy will also be the preacher for Sunday, the 28th. Miss Natasha Frey, Elder Charlene Booker, and our very own Reverend Dion Boissier. So I want you to govern yourselves accordingly, and you should get there. You should absolutely be there. If you can be there, you should absolutely make your way. So, because we need these spaces So good morning to everyone. Good morning. If you're not, Jumbo to my brother. Y'all, we international. We are international. Jambo Poa. My brother speaking Swahili. This is Emmanuel Nkomo. Who our brother, I already did, Derek, thank you. Our brother who is watching in all the way from Bulawayo, Zimbabwe, or he might be on some other part of the continent, one part of the Djembe monks. For those of you that came to the One Love Festival, you remember Manny or Emmanuel. Shout out to you, my brother, my forever brother now. We love you here, and we look forward to bringing you here real soon again. So shout out to you. Good morning. LaWonder, and we got the Bahamas represented. We got the continent represented. Good morning. Thank you, Bakari. All morning sessions will be available for online viewing for the Ma'afa via Zoom, so you have to register. Thank you, Bakari. So all morning sessions for the Ma'afa, if you cannot get there, only the morning plenary sessions will be available via Zoom, meaning it won't be streaming live via Facebook, but you can get the Zoom link if you register and if you opt for the online. Ashe. Thank you so much. Good morning, Mia. Also, I did not have I don't have a visual, but Dr. Monica Coleman has an offering coming up. If Natasha or one of the other, Carmen or Carlene, if you can go grab that from Dr. Monica, I know she's on. If you want to drop that link in here for your offering, a conversation with Dr. Monica about her journey as both an ordained minister in the AME African Methodist Episcopal Church, and as also an initiated priest in the Yoruba religion of Ifa, a devotee, I believe, of Obatala, to talk about the connections, right? And even Monica, as I said, the African Methodist Episcopal Church. It fits. I mean, there is no tension there. So for those of you who I know, like Marilyn and others who are on that journey and you want to, be in a space, it is a virtual retreat for a very nominal $50. And I think that it is very worth it, and I totally endorse it 100%. Yep, Ashe. Okay, so make sure that you all tap in with Dr. Monica. Hey Leah, hey Bianca, hey Deborah, hey Antoinette, Rosalind, Carmen, Stephanie, good morning, good morning, good morning. Dana, good morning. Barbara, good morning, good morning, good morning. Jamie, good morning. Antonia, well, Antonia, girl, what are you doing on here, girl? Congratulations on your nuptials on yesterday, friend. Yes, I thought you would be giving the Lord praise this morning, and doing the ultimate ministry. Amen. We are excited for you and your spouse. Congratulations. Congratulations to you and your spouse on your nuptials. Ashe. Good morning, Mama Hazel. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yolanda, good morning. Yolanda, I saw that you recently had a tumor removed from your brain. Come on, Holy Ghost. We give God thanks and praise for you, for that, just for this testimony of seeing your name on here. Ashe. Good morning, Angel Bernice, almost doctor. Professor, I shall say, at your alma mater. Isn't the Lord good? It is always wonderful to go back home and to be able to do what you are called to do. So we appreciate you, Angel, and we are excited for all the work that you are doing. Good morning, Free. Good morning. Good morning, Tanya, Denise. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Wise Coaching. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Everyone. Dr. Monica has shared where to check in. Ashe, I believe that I have acknowledged everyone, at least over here on the Book of Faces. I have also done so. Chelsea Green, good morning. That's it, Comfy. That is Confidence's line, which is that joy is her fiercest rebellion. Ashe, Ashe. So you all know that, hi Donna Otis, you all know that it's Black August, and we have been in this series around Black August. I want to invite you to go look. I want you to do some work, Ashe, on what Black August is. What I will tell you is that it's a commemoration. It is not a celebration. It is a commemoration, not a celebration. It's a commemoration that we are observing, just like we observe the Ma'afa. We don't celebrate the Great Destruction. We observe, we commemorate, we remember that it happened. And so for the past 2 weeks, we skipped last week, we have been engaging in a series, The Fire Next Time, this Black August Witness. And last week we talked about, even if we burn, we will not bow. Even if we burn, we will not bow. I want to have all of the things that you are receiving from me energetically right now. This is so authentic. In real time, you are experiencing what I'm feeling in my body, Ashe, right? I ain't gonna fake it till I make it. The hesitancies, the kind of losing my train of thought, and I'm losing my train of thought if I can, because I'm working hard not to talk about something, because I'm having ethics, Ashe, and care, ethics and care. I'm working hard not to do so, and it's just hard, Ashe. It's just hard. Michelle, you got to go back up into when y'all ask for links, just scroll back up. So just scroll back up either after the broadcast and you'll find it. Ashe. Who is Air 500? This seems like something you should be emailing me directly, Ashe. We not gonna talk about Wake Div stuff over here. So I don't know. You might be new. You might be a new student, so I don't know who you are. I don't know your name. But email me because you have my email address, Ashe. Just want to order new business. We talk about that business over there. Yeah. But if you are a student, I think it says that on the registration. So you should check accordingly. Okay? All right. Let's get into my thoughts. We've been talking about these four. Help me, Jesus, today. Help me. These four areas. Last week we talked about memory, and the week prior, resistance. And today, I want to have a conversation about devotion in the furnace. Oh, Air 500, my bad. Excuse me, y'all. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm just really reading your question. No, you're not awake. Unless you're awake. No. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No. Okay. All right. My bad, sis. I apologize. No. I apologize. Help me, Jesus. I wish we were in person because I would just stop right now. I feel like I need a prayer circle. I need a prayer circle. I need a prayer circle. I need a laying on of hands, Ashe. Just stretch your hands towards me right now. Stretch your hands towards me. Wherever you are, just pause. And if your energy is good, thank you, God. Stretch your hands towards me right now. Wherever you are. And just ask the Great Spirit to walk with me. And to calm me. And to create a space of release. To remind me of this joy that I keep speaking of. To slow down. Ashe. Kelly, no, you don't have to do any of those. If you are not a student, if none of those apply, you don't have to click those. No, that's only for the students who are taking a class there. My bad. My bad. All right. Thank you, my brother Joseph Fleming. Thank you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I feel it. Hey, Alexis. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love it. Ashe. I appreciate it and I feel it. The devotion in the furnace. Last week we talked from Daniel 3 when the 3 Hebrew boys were in the furnace and they said, listen to the king. Even if we burn, we are not going to bow. Even if. And so while I'm just going to move around that text. I'm going to talk about that text and a couple different ones. Y'all know what it is. I just wanted to acknowledge the theme of discipline. That in Black August, another theme for Black August is discipline. Discipline. This is part 3, discipline. I appreciate all the prayers. I feel them even now. So, friends, I just want to share that discipline is not deprivation. Oh, my, Melva. Discipline is not deprivation. Discipline is not deprivation, but discipline is devotion. Discipline is not about stripping away joy, but sharpening our tools for freedom. I feel those prayers. Yes, I feel them. I feel them now. Yeah. Discipline asks, what are you devoted to? That if the fight for liberation requires our whole selves, then it demands a disciplined mind, body, and spirit. It demands a devotion to living free in the face of empire. I'm going to run it back because I feel my help because y'all praying. Amen. Discipline is not deprivation. It is devotion. It is not about stripping away joy, but sharpening our tools for freedom. Discipline asks, what are you devoted to? If the fight for liberation requires our whole selves, then it demands a disciplined mind, a disciplined body, and a disciplined spirit. It demands a devotion to living free in the face of empire. Friends, I'm sorry to say that we got some undisciplined folk amongst us. That we have some folk who lack devotion in our midst. And can we start a little bit with this disciplined mind? We are still in the frame of Black August. We are still in the series, The Fire, next time, the Black August series. We are now talking about the theme of discipline. Daniel Warpert says that discipline is a concept that needs to be reclaimed and recovered because discipline is a key part of the spiritual life, Ashe. The scripture says that a double-minded person in James 1:8 is unstable in all of their ways. Discipline of the mind then begins with clarity. It is about refusing to be tossed about by every distraction, every headline, and every offense. Discipline, if it's devotion, doesn't mean that you are not concerned with every headline. It doesn't mean that you don't know the headlines. It means that you refuse to be tossed about by every headline and by every offense. Ashe. I'm gonna go to a little touchy, something that had the internet all ablaze this past week. A spiritual mother in the work, Reverend Dr. Renita J. Weems, and I called her on the phone, and I don't call her by her first name, but she will attest in my voice note. I said, Renita, Renita, why would you put the intranets all up in a tizzy like this? She offered us on last week a case study on social media in her Substack blog. What kind of doctor are you? She raised a critical question about the Theological Academy and our models of education. Particularly, she was talking about the model of the Doctor of Ministry degree. At first glance, some holders of the DMin degree felt slighted, and while some PhDs felt attacked as elitist. But that for me, for Melva, I'm going there, Monica, for me, was a surface read. I want to run it back. For those who read it initially, they felt slighted, and for PhDs felt like they were being attacked for having a PhD and being called elitist. But on a deeper, disciplined reading, a deeper, disciplined reading, her provocation really wasn't just about degrees at all. It was about the white supremacist and capitalist frameworks baked into our seminaries and our historically Black theological institutions. Oh, Melva. It was an invitation, if you will. It was an invitation for us to really consider what models we are following. And as I said in my post, the question is valid. It wasn't a wrong question, but if you already have a wound, If you already suffer from a wound that has not been healed, a wound that has been created by by a supremacist kind of dichotomy, a wound that has made you feel less than because you believe that those who hold a different kind of credential are elitist in their praxis, then that's what we have to say. We got to say we're wounded. Before we, lest we not read carefully. We got to know why we've done something, for whom we're doing it. For instance, I did the PhD because I wanted to teach, I wanted to write, but I wanted to teach at a research institution, and I knew that I could not teach at a research institution or not be in a kind of process with a certain kind of degree. I never wanted to be a pastor in the traditional church. I wanted to have the freedom of the academy to engage the church. And yet, y'all, as PhDs, our work goes hand in hand with demons. Oftentimes, they are the subjects of the work that we are doing. But here's what I want to read, okay? I want to read this because I think we spent enough time on it, and we need to lay that to rest once and for all. In another subsequent Facebook post that I made, because I'm talking about discipline, because I imagine these are not Dr. Weems's words. These are my words. I imagine that the post came that I know this is something that she was thinking about, obviously, but just prior to that there were a slew of posts from my own alma mater sharing about some of the new cohort leaders in the Doctor of Ministry program. Many colleagues, all of them highly respected, most capable in their fields, stellar faculty, will be stellar cohort leaders, people whose work I affirm, and some of them are also alums of Virginia Union. But I want to say this. I wonder, I gotta wonder, y'all, because we talking about discipline, how well we critique the Orange Man and its administration, and how silent we become when it's time to critique our own institutions. How we go into this space of what's our business stays in our business. Everybody don't need to know our business. Our institutions are struggling. The president of Howard University just stepped down on Friday. It's interesting how institutions make these announcements on Friday afternoons, on weekends. Y'all got to tap in. And when that happens, there was no step down. That was the option that was given. That was a forced removal, a firing. I don't have any empirical data to say this. I just been in higher education now for almost 25 years, and I really our institutions are in a struggle. And for me, I don't care how much we love an institution. Will we love an institution enough to call the institution in? Will we stop wanting name recognition? Will we stop wanting, how do we make, because I'm still talking about discipline. Can we get disciplined enough to not accept and or acknowledge or take something when we know that the ground is shaky? I'm gonna talk to myself, because I don't see no amens over here. I'm gonna talk to myself. So you all read the post. Like, how do we think that one is not attached to the other? Like, how mad can we be as D-Mens and PhDs? Like, you always got to know where you are, because I certainly know where I am. And I know I know how the checks get signed, and I know the history. And I'm not making any excuses for it. And folks can call me on it all the time, because I call myself, but I know what I'm walking into. I know where I am. I know the history of it. And what I am putting into question, What I am putting into question, I'm going to just read what I wrote. Just weeks ago, allegedly, 4 deans were abruptly fired. And I got this on good information. Do you hear what I'm saying? 4 deans were abruptly fired, allegedly. In a closed meeting, faculty and staff were asked to clean restrooms to prepare for accreditation visits. The school has been on this is my alma mater. I ain't talking about somebody else's. I'm talking about the alma mater that took a chance on me. The only what I have the authority to say, yeah, to question and to ask, just like the church is our institution. These are our institutions. And not only that, we've been on probation with SACS now for the past 3 years. And any of you who know a higher education about SACS, you know that's a problem. How somebody must be praying on the main line hard because you don't remain on probation for SACS for 3 years. You probably remain 2. 1, you get a warning. The next year you come back to see if you have affirmed or if you did what needed to be done, appease that warning. And the 3rd time, baby, it's a wrap, right? But here we are, making big announcements, big old glitter lights. We doing this, we doing that, which draws attention away from what's really happening. You understand what I'm saying? But we got campuses in New York City that ain't nobody been to yet. But we got leases, so I'm told. Oh, baby, I'm told that allegedly. Remember, if you all read Dr. Shaniqua Walker Barnes, I'm still talking about discipline. If you read Dr. Shaniqua Walker Barnes' post this week, where she talked about a lot of the folks who are doing this work that y'all really, lodging your complaints at, are Black women who are sitting in these rooms, sitting in these meetings, having to listen to these conversations to say that the head of the snake has been cut, referring to a Black woman academic and Black woman in ministry, is highly, but yet we can celebrate and we say yes to these things. Where is our discipline? I'm struggling. I am struggling. I'm struggling right here. To whom are we devoted? Are we devoted solely to the dollar? Are we devoted to legacy? Who are we? Who are we right now? This is not about degrees and titles, but it is about the ethical credibility of the institutional leaders themselves. If we recruit students with the allure of celebrity leaders while overlooking administrative instability and questionable practices, then we are not advancing Black theological education. We are undermining it. If we care about rigor, then we must also care about governance. Yeah. Otherwise, as Dr. Weems notes, and this was my favorite line in her whole piece, we risk leaving the next generation with little more than Black patriarchal Christianity, and Puffball Woman is preaching. Baby, it's the Puffball Woman is preaching for me. So the question cannot end with what kind of doctor are we? It must also press what kind of institution are we willing to legitimate with our presence, with our labor, and with our name. This is what overwhelms me. This is what frustrates me. That folks can just dangle a carrot and we won't hold folks accountable because we get so hype on the name. But I want the folks who have the name, the celebrity name. Why aren't you all asking questions? Why don't you, and if you're not asking questions, why don't you know this? Why aren't you investigating? Why aren't you asking? Why aren't you asking board members to see reports? Why aren't you asking for numbers? Why? Alums, why aren't you asking? Why is it that we can't wait to get to homecoming to do what? Dance, dine, and party. But we can't stand on business to ask these kind of questions. Why is it? Why is it? You know what other folk do at PWIs who go to their homecoming? Homecoming is to raise money. And I was asked a year ago to be the class, what was it called? The class, I forget what it's called, but the person that asked you to raise the money for our class for a gift. And I thought, sure, I'll do it because I want to raise money. And I want to also acknowledge I am not a consistent giver. And I want to also acknowledge not enough to be recognized for either way. I want to acknowledge that my giving has been directly to students. Yeah. Through the former university chaplaincy team that was also demoted and or fired, only to hire a dean of the chapel who was also then later fired. Yo, these are questions. These are questions, friends. And so the question here is, what are you devoted to? How are you disciplined, and to what are you devoted? Yeah. Discipline means training our minds not to react to offense, but to read, to read critically, to seek truth beneath the noise, to think beyond the binary, to ask what is the real issue here, to not be so thirsty for the recognition. Your work still will make room for itself. You do not have to cash out on the first option or just because this option has come to you. If you are not in alignment, if their lived practices do not match with their ethics or your ethics, then you are out of alignment. I don't care who it is, friend, family, foe, or institution, friend. If you must be there, Ashe, then know why you're there. And at the same time, you know why you're there. Always be considering the strategies and asking the spirit and the ancestors, what is your medicine to offer in this place to bring it from imbalance to balance? To whom are you devoted? Don't get lost in these conversations. Do not, Dr. Weems was not trying to bait you into a conversation about whether a D-Min is better than a PhD. Then everybody start writing their dissertations about why they chose this option, why they chose it. No, friends, you don't have to justify any of that. You don't have to justify why you chose the lane you chose because God chose you to go in that lane. To justify that means that you are wholeheartedly a part of a system that never had you in mind to determine the work that you were called to do. Friends, cut it out. That was not the question. The question was a deeper critique. The question was to say to you that the D-Min and the PhD are not the same. She's not wrong. They are not. That is not a lie. That is a fact. But it also didn't mean that a D-Min is less than. How can you compare two things that are not the same? Listen, y'all. Come on. Come on. You got to compare like and like. I'm not a mathematician. I don't even like math. But I don't remember what this principle is. But I feel like there's a principle in one of these higher up maths that say something like numbers got to be the same. Like if you're trying to work with numbers, they got to be of the same value. You cannot compare. And it's not, the not compared is not because one is up above. No. They serve different purposes. Listen, you got PhDs in education, but you also got EDs. They don't be having this conversation. You got PhDs in clinical psychology and PsyDs. They don't be having this conversation. It's only us in this here church that offer up these signs of our internalized oppression and religious trauma that we feel we have to keep over and over and over and over again, having this irrelevant conversation where that shows our wounds and our trauma, and for some of us, our regrets. Some of us are bothered because we regret not taking the check. Listen, let me back it up one more time. I know double doctors. Dr. Nicole McDonald got a D-Min and a PhD. Dr. Emily Towns has a D-Min and a PhD. Y'all. So the request is, can we finally move on? Can we finally discipline your mind? Discipline your mind not to fall victim, not to get so offended when someone asks a question. Now, as a PhD and a researcher, Dr. Weems did what she's trained to do: ask the questions in search of empirical data, so that she can use that empirical data as the chief academic officer of an institution to figure out that if their institution would, these are not her words, I have not even talked to her about this is just my thinking, that if her institution were to offer a DMin, to make sure that she is not, that her institution is not following in the same problematic model. That's what the question was for. Can I walk back a little bit more? The discipline of the mind also means discipline with our money. Oh shoot. Don't turn off, because this will usually turn me off. I will usually log off right now because I have trauma around money. I'm talking about myself. I got trauma around money. I don't want to talk about it. Don't bring it to me. I'm out the door. I wouldn't usually sit, but just stay right here for a minute. I'm talking about where we spend our money, how we invest, and what we consume. Carmen, I started to reach out to you but in the past month or so, I have had physical responses to not being in Target. I have not been in Target since January of 2025. I have not shopped online at Target. Now, my children just told me that they rode through Target yesterday because one of the people that had to go to the bathroom, just in case, somebody saw them. And they said, Mommy, we promised we ain't buying nothing. We had to go to the bathroom. And that's what, okay. Next time, find somewhere else to go to the bathroom, because I don't even want to walk in there, right? But I was having this response. And some of you might say, well, let's not judge. What about the people who work there? I'm going to say what I'm going to say, because, there are always other pages where you could be on. Ashe and amen. The discipline and the devotion means, for those of you who are still there, it is devoted to the comfort. You're devoted to convenience. Melva. You are devoted to the convenience. You are devoted to ease. You are devoted to white supremacy. You don't want to hear that. We live in a capitalist society, so to some level, we all have some devotion to capitalism. But we in the furnace right now. This man then took over Washington, D.C. And they say Chicago is next. And you still in Target. And the reason why you got to keep the pressure on Target, why we got to keep the pressure on Target, producer? Because it's working. Changing leadership. And now it's a change in leadership. I can only think of our ancestors who participated in the Montgomery bus boycott. Not everybody did, but for those who did, it benefited even those who didn't. Listen, y'all, we in Black August. Where we spend our money reflects to whom we are devoted. Oh, Melva, you done said something. Now, I ain't talking about your tithes and your offers, but you should be considering that too. You know, what your people doing, I don't know. But where we spend our money reveals to whom and what we invest our money in, what institutions. And so if you are an institution and you are trying to up your giving and you have flatlined in your giving, or you see that alums aren't giving, you should be wondering, you should be trying to figure out, where are we out of alignment? Melva. Because people give to whom they feel aligned. My goodness. Empire survives on our unexamined habits. Ha! Melva, see, y'all done prayed me all the way free. I'm here now. Yeah, God. Holy Ghost. Y'all prayed me right on up into free. You did. You did. Yeah, 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 yeah. What the movie say? Miss Sophia home now. Miss Sophia home now. Yeah. Empire survives on our unexamined habits. Let that sit for a minute. What's up, Dr. Danny? Let that sit for a minute. Let it sit. It thrives and survives off of us not being critical enough. Jesus. It survives and it thrives on us, on our habits of not reading deeply, on our habit of having these arguments that really do us no good, on our habit of being so critically wounded and traumatized that we have trauma responses to something that was not even meant to take us all the way where we went. Thrives off of it. Thrives off of it. Yeah. Liberation requires, though, you know what it requires. Ruha Benjamin told us what it requires. Liberation requires a disciplined imagination that resists easy answers and shallow distractions. Derek and I were watching several documentaries on last night about the revolutionary Mumia Abu-Jamal. Mumia Abu-Jamal has been incarcerated since 1982 for a crime he did not commit. And yet in 2000 he wrote his account professing his innocence, and today remains on lockdown as a prisoner of war. It has not stopped him. Come on, somebody. He has not been distracted by his own circumstance, because he recognizes that his circumstance is inextricably linked with the collective circumstance. My God. And even though his body is behind bars, his imagination is free. Liberation, y'all, requires a disciplined imagination that resists easy answers and shallow distractions. And can I say what else? Liberation requires discipline because some of us just say what we want to say and then we put the moniker on it, I'm free. No, baby. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Because freedom and liberation aren't the same things. You might be free, but you ain't liberated. Because liberation requires discipline because you know that one wrong move could topple the whole movement. One wrong thing said. And if you have a pastoral heart, you know that if you say what you really want to say, I can't hear nobody praying in here. If you call them out like you know they need to be called out, baby, you know that you will destroy them. Y'all need to thank God for discipline. Yeah. Discipline does not mean that you get to do and be and that you just get to be reckless in your ish. That's not, no, that's freedom. That ain't liberation. That's not liberation. Liberation comes with mutual respect. Liberation comes with reciprocity. Freedom just means you free to be out here. The filters are working. I'm moving on. I had some other examples, but I am being disciplined. Ashe. Let's go really quickly to this discipline, the disciplined body. So first we said your mind got to be disciplined. Now your body. Liberation is not only intellectual. Liberation is physical. It requires stamina. It requires us to be in shape to fight. In the past month alone, at least 3 Black women close to me have faced serious health challenges. That is no accident. The system depends on our exhaustion. It depends on our bodies worn down and worn out. Can I say? Bell Hooks, Tony K. Bambara, Yolanda Smith, Katie Geneva Cannon, Audre Lorde, Octavia Butler, James Cone, all Nikki Giovanni, all who transitioned disciplined in mind and whose bodies were worn down as they gave their medicine in service to the academy, some in service to the academy and the church, some in service to our culture. Whose overwhelm and disappointment, whose fatigue from sometimes having to live in misalignment in order to survive. My God, speak, Melva. Created dis-ease in their bodies. And this dis-ease metastasized to become disease. And the chronic the chronic diseases, some fatal, be they cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, also caused by the environment, elements in the environment, in our foods, in the medicines that we take. Can I just share synthetic medicine? Synthetic medicine doesn't heal. Synthetic medicine only temporarily addresses an imbalance. Synthetic medicine doesn't bring balance. It temporarily eases or brings an imbalance under control. But always and ultimately, as someone who takes them, right? Always and ultimately, while it may be addressing an imbalance somewhere, it creates an imbalance somewhere else. I just want to say it. I just want to. And for some of us, nobody wakes up and says, I want diabetes. Get out to me. And then somebody might say, well, if you was pre-diabetic, why didn't you just stop eating? Why didn't you just start exercising? Why didn't you just start doing all the list of things that people put on people, and especially Black women, on what they should do in the midst of them trying to survive hell and high water, in the midst of them trying to juggle, in the midst of them trying to maintain all of the hate, the critique, in the midst of them also then putting on their capes to save the world, and the world still don't get saved. In the midst of all of it, then we sometimes sit in shame for not having the discipline to save ourselves. Can we talk about it? But we're going to have to do some work. And my comrade, her book is at work. Dr. Bridget Paget just wrote a book about the body. And we need to, those of you coming to the Ma'afa will have an opportunity to engage with my doctor, Dr. Mark Armstrong, to remind us that some of what we are experiencing, some of these diseases we are experiencing go back 7 generations. Not because 7 generations of people had them, but this is something coming up from 7 generations ago. I'm going to stay on track because I'm going, let me just... The system depends on our exhaustion. It depends on bodies worn down and worn out, but discipline of the body is devotion to the sacredness of our flesh. I haven't believed that my flesh is sacred. I've said it. I don't believe it though. I haven't believed it. Because when I believe things are sacred, I take care of them. These rings on my ring finger are sacred. When I take them off, I put them in a place where I know that they will be held, where I know that they will be safe. My relationship with my spouse is sacred. I work hard not to do anything that will break our sacred vows. And when I do, I return in repentance, asking for forgiveness and looking for a new unity. Oh, you don't hear me. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Yes, 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 yes. This body that has been holding me, housing the organs, holding my intellect and my spirit now for 54 years. I say that it's sacred, but now it's just starting to believe me because I've started to feed it differently. I've started to think and make different kinds of choices where I would have chosen X. Now I'm choosing this because I'm actually beginning to believe that it is sacred. I'm actually beginning to be disciplined, disciplined in my devotion to my body, not to a system where I have worked all day and now I'm so hungry that the fastest thing I could grab is something processed. But I'm starting to leave work early. I'm starting to put the work down so that I'm not overworked, so that help me today, y'all. To be disciplined in the body is we become our own prisoners of war. Some of us are prisoners in our bodies. We have retreated so deeply inside of our bodies that the interior is unrecognizable. Some of us who've been on the front lines, who suffered the consequences. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. So to be disciplined in the body is making space for rest, as Trisha Hersey told us. It is making space for rest. It is refusing the lie that grind culture is freedom, what she told us. It is eating, it is moving, it is breathing. Now I'm getting this eating thing together. Now I got to get this moving thing together. But this is why I was doing my line dances, because I also know I'm not about to be in the gym. That doesn't excite me. And I don't believe in doing something that you don't like with the thoughts that it's going to turn around that you like. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's not my jam. I'm not a gym rat. I don't like it, right? But I like to walk and I love to dance. So why not start there? You also could start in other places, but the church got y'all thinking you can't. So, I'm almost done. Oh, I'm way past time. Let me scoot on. This system cannot have us. It can't have our diligence, our brilliance. It can't have our bodies and not our breath. It can't have us. Finally, the discipline in the spirit. Because what we are facing is not just flesh and blood, the text says, but it's principalities, spiritual wickedness in high places. We have seen what happens when empire seeks to tighten its grip. Again, look at the recent rhetoric. The takeover attempts in D.C., the looming threats over Chicago. Fascism is not an idea. Fascism is a spirit of domination. Our ancestors knew this. They used spiritual technologies to resist and to endure. Prayer circles, ring shouts, fasting, anointing oil, incantations, and chants. These were not superstition. They were survival strategy, tools to ward off evil, to call forth courage, to align the spirit with the struggle. A disciplined spirit does not bow to despair. It refuses to be seduced by commercialized Christianity that equates personal piety with deliverance while ignoring communal resistance. A disciplined spirit keeps its eyes on God, its feet in the fight, and its heart in the community. I gotta hurry up. But let me just run back to this Daniel 3 text. When the king builds all of these, these statues, it says you're going to have to bow to it. It demands that the empire demands that every knee shall bow. This is why they say even if we're thrown into the furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us. But even if that God doesn't, I still ain't gonna bow to you. That's discipline. The discipline of mind, they were not swayed by fear. The discipline of body, they stood tall when others fell. The discipline of spirit, they trusted God's presence, whether in life or in the flame. Can you trust God's presence in life or in the flame? So, beloved, discipline is not about deprivation. It's about devotion. I don't care if you fast and you come out and you still support the same kind of fascist regime and ideals. It doesn't make a difference to me if you fast and you still shop at Target, because God ain't talking then. I don't care if you fast, because you're only concerned with your personal piety, but not about our collective resistance. Discipline is not about deprivation. It's about devotion. Devotion to the God who delivers. Devotion to the ancestors who resisted. Devotion to the liberation of those yet to come. So I charge you with this. I charge you this Black August to discipline your mind, to think critically, to resist distraction, steward your resources with care, discipline your body, rest, nourish, strengthen yourself for the long haul, because it's going to be a long haul. Discipline your spirit. Lean into your spiritual technologies that sustain our people. Resist the false gods of empire and trust the one who walks with us in the fire. For if we are disciplined in mind and body and spirit, then like the Hebrew boys, we will emerge from the fire, from the furnace, unbound, unharmed, and unbent. Ashe. Ashe. Asheo. That's our word for today. If you are on YouTube or if you are on Facebook and you want to join us in the clearing, which is our subscription community, transparency. It's a $30 a month seed. If I have put the link in how you can come join us, as soon as you join, the email will come to me and I will send you the link. This is our digital hush harbor. We go over here now to talk about the various texts and to have some conversation beyond the gaze, Ashe. So if that's you, if you say, I want to be in the clearing and I want to be able to have these kind of conversations weekly in a trusted community, then just go ahead and click that link. Click that link. Ashe. 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 Oh.